reminds me of Quentin Tarantino, if you know it. Like his movies and himself is often quite ridiculous. It's so over the top. Everything is so over the top. Maybe that. I mean, I love Quentin Tarantino and his movies, but everything is ridiculous.
Everything is ridiculous. Yes, I say everyone, every time, everywhere. Everyone is ridiculous. Yes, I say every time, everywhere, everything. Every time is ridiculous. Yes, I say everywhere, everything, everyone. Everywhere is ridiculous. Yes, I say everything, everyone, every time.
I agree. Yes, it's a big yes. It's a big yes. Yes, it's a big yes. And we shouldn't worry about anything. It's exactly what life is all about.
This describes our world perfectly because we made everything up in this world, and everything is just kind of weird and ridiculous if you think about it. We just made up these rules. We just made up everything. We made up money. We made up a social system. There are reasons for it, and we all kind of know why, but we also do not know why. Time is made up as well. It's so weird to think about because at some point everything just did not exist, and I think that's crazy, like how everything is progressing at such an enormous speed and everything is changing all the time.
I can relate to this very much because there's a lot of things in this world I find ridiculous. Again, it's always a perspective of a person, right? But I think if you've experienced as many things and if you've traveled as much in the world and you've seen so many things that are not normal and normal for other people, it's just ridiculous. At some point you're like, you don't want to care anymore.
It's ridiculous also to think about changing every day in the world.
I don't agree with the poem. I don't think everything, everywhere, every time is ridiculous. The person in this poem is very sad about his life or what happened in his life before.
Who wrote this poem has a severe depression. So you see here the hate, you see pessimism here. It doesn't cheer you up. But maybe this is the person who wrote this poem is really had enough of everything. It's actually, very deep, but it's written in a pessimistic way.
No, I wouldn't say pessimistic. I would say kind of carefree, joyful.
I really find it's nice. I like it, but it's make me feel something, but I don't know exactly what. I'm just very deeply in my thoughts, thinking what is everything and why is it ridiculous, basically.
So if for you it's ridiculous, well, for another person it's normal. It's kind of the way the world is, and probably this is the main advantage of our world, that we are super different and we are super ridiculous.
See a little bit of self-doubt, not being sure of what to do, what to think, what to see when looking at the world.
There's too much philosophy in life. Life is much easier than philosophy. It's just a flow. Drop the philosophy and just go. It put me right in a moment now. I had a wonderful conversation with my friend who came from New Zealand, and it's exactly what we spoke about. And I really love her to take a picture of this and keep it under a pillow.
You have to change everything in your head first. You don't need to change anything else. First change yourself, start to find some light inside of yourself, and then maybe change environment.
Not change, I mean develop. Never change yourself. Changing is not that good probably, sometimes. It's all about accepting.
If everything and everywhere is ridiculous, it means that everything is normal.
Say we are more tolerant than ever. Society everyone goes to extreme ways. Nobody is neutral anymore. Like if you believe in something, you are like on an extreme side, politically or religion or something like that. If you don't believe in something, you are against something, you become the enemy of the other side. You are not like a good person for them. The extreme left ones and the extreme right ones, I would say they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
I think that Germany is splitting up in both directions. Like more people are going to far left, and more people are going far right.
There are no neutral people anymore, really.
Everything is ridiculous. Yes, I say everyone, every time, everywhere. Everyone is ridiculous. Yes, I say every time, everywhere, everything. Every time is ridiculous. I say everywhere, everything, everyone. Everywhere is ridiculous. I say everything, everyone, every time. I'm sometimes ridiculous because I am changing too. I am evolving all the time, and sometimes I feel ridiculous, sometimes I do not. And it really depends on my feelings because everything is determined by feelings. It really is a lot to think about. I couldn't express it in like a few minutes.
Why am I ridiculous? Because I'm talking in English at the moment, which is not even my mother language. I don't take life seriously, too seriously. Now I become to realize that the whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, 2020 was ridiculous. I mean, after 2020, you can't go more ridiculous than that.
The sky is ridiculous, okay. So it depends on the point of view that you have. If you say the sky is ridiculous, maybe, and you're saying, okay, the sky is ridiculous, why? And you're trying to explain the world to yourself as you see it. Maybe that there are very different point of views, and everything and every person has to cope with the world as this person sees the world.
In his own way.
His own way, yes. The most ridiculous thing in my mind now is, I think, this one person that I really like. And it's so crazy how they just came into my life and they fascinated me so much without even doing anything. And it's crazy to think about because they're not the same as everyone else, but they're not that different, but still they're so different to me.
This person doing a protest in front of Brandenburger Tor. I find it really ridiculous. If you want to do something to change something, do it. Don't stand in front of all the people. No one's listening to you. It's ridiculous.
Everyone says hello to everyone on the streets in Germany, even without knowing each other very well. So I can actually say everything is ridiculous. Yes.
Exactly. This contrast between what they think, what they say, how they behave, it's just ridiculous.
Yes,
sometimes.
because you don't know if it's for real, they being friendly, or it's just like some, I don't know, some mindset, yes, in their heads that are making them being friendly, but they're actually not friendly. It is actually ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah, so, but at the same time, people felt to be more like closed in them, to be more like strict to themselves. And at first time, you think that it's just ridiculous that they don't let themselves to feel some emotions.
Yes. It's all the same words, but the way it's emphasized in one part is different from the other. So it's actually a different meaning from the others as well.
The 4 keywords: everything, everyone, every time, everywhere, and you just rearrange them in an order that is rearranged in a circle, and it also just repeats itself, but it also has like a different meaning every time.
The circle is basically, the way I see it, is like too much thinking, so you go in circle. So you need to get out of the circle and then say a big yes.
I think it's something very original, and I think it's something that really stands for itself. I think it really fits the poem, first of all, because like it has like the same shape, like a square, but it's also a little bit smaller to this side. I think you can, well, everyone has their own interpretation, but you can see like hands there. It could be a sign of like trying to grasp everyone, every time, everything, even though it is impossible, and that's why they are holding like nothing.
Because of what we talked about earlier, about left and right side, that they are kind of similar in their not in them not accepting the other side, and it's like mirrored. So yeah, it kind of fits to that interpretation.
I would say the picture fits the poem good because the picture itself is kind of ridiculous. So I would say it's a good fit.
Yeah, okay.